Hello, Professor. So we're at our final week. I'll be presenting my research on impact of globalization in international business. So the global changes in the world changes the political and economic business activities, as well as the development of technology, transport, and communication. Imposes the need for enterprises in its struggle for several survival to change their strategies and go out from the border of their own country. Limited market, competitive pressure, demand for cheaper resources, and the dynamics of postmodern era forcing business and leaders to change their focus from traditional targets to alternative measures for successful business, and the entrance on global market with the purpose of marketing competing advantages. So any company they want to survive in the market, they need to go global and be multinational, being operate in larger market. So this is the current scenario these days right now. The purpose of my study and the aim of this paper is to boost the knowledge regarding the globalization um, and its impact on international business. International business is vast. International business is a vast range of business activities involving the execution of global goods and services among the individual and business across the national border. In conjunction with the galloping globalization, international business has been a topic among the business executives and has drawn the attention of industries. The present study broke down how the various types of globalization affect international business. A firm's competency to trade business and service internationally, transfer their uh, production to other countries, and pick up the knowledge from abroad on the efficiency of operation. And it will also help any kind of firm to who are trying to boost their business into global market and looking for strategy based way to start a business in the global market. So it will help in a lot of any companies with that need, and also it will give everyone to idea and be aware of the impact of globalization and the relation between international business and globalization. So the methodology, that data is this case study were obtained from existing literatures on the role of globalization and its impact on international business. The methodology relied on existing previous literature on the subject being dealt with. And we also followed the qualitative methodology in this research. So literature review, it's a vast topic, so it's hard to collaborate everything in one presentation or even in one research. But I'll say the globalization is associated with liberalization and the integration of economy. Borderless movement of capital investments, mobilization of the workforce, flow of information, and unlimited ultimate flow of information. At one end of definitional spectrum, international business is defined as organization that buys or sells goods and services across two or more regions or countries. At the other end of the spectrum, the international business is equated only with those big enterprises that have operating units outside their own country. International business grew in scope to a size and to the point where global economy is now dominated by multinationals from all countries in the world, according to Friedman. in 1997. So think about it right now, it's going to be way more than that. The term international business can be identified as subculture of consumption, which is defined as based on the self-selected social characteristics of common commitment to the product category, brand or consumer activity grouping. As economies increase, trade continues to grow, technology increased, travel continues to make the gap among countries to become smaller, and an understanding of the legal aspect of international business become a valuable asset, according to Nicholas and Berfley in 2015. The core issues faced by international business and ecological environment are technological, political, legal, dynamic, socio, culture, and technological problem in which they operate, according to Hamilton and Webster. So this was kind of a sum up of literature review, as we have time limitation. So I'm going to come to the main point of this research, the impact of globalization on the business, especially on international business. The development of international business activities coincided with widespread phenomenon of globalization of market, according to Cabus-Gill and Knight results in 2018. The globalization of market refers to the growing economic integration and the growing independence of countries worldwide. Globalization is a widespread trend through which economies in the world loses their border, connect to each other. The companies are now no longer imprisoned in their border and can implement a wide range of business activities around the world. Many companies are present in markets around the world, procure their raw produce, and conduct research and development worldwide. This is the positive impact of globalization in short form. The next slide is the political changes. So because of globalization, politics and changes in political environment has been phenomenon. The globalization tends of unifying, socializing the global community, as well as forming preferential trade agreements and groupings such as NAFTA, NAFTA, and the European Union, which united more nations into a single market, and which has also allowed the companies significant market opportunities. Two aspects of this trade which contributes to the globalization of business operations are progressive reduction of barriers for trade and foreign investment by most government, which leads to intense opening new market by international companies, which also exported them and built production facilities in them. And the privatization of most industry in the former communist countries, as well as opening up their economic to global competition. The other changes happen is the development of technology. The development of computing and communication technologies has enabled increased flow of ideas and information across the border of the country, providing introduction of consumer with the goods worldwide. Then also internet and networking have enabled smaller companies to compete globally. As a result of the rapid flow of information regardless of the physical location of the seller or even the buyer. Also allows international companies to hold corporate meeting among managers from headquarters and branches without wasting unnecessary time for travel. The most recent example we can keep the situation during the COVID-19, which we also discussed in the class a lot of times. Now, COVID-19 has locked us down in the house, but we can still work by staying in the house. We can present things by attending Zoom, and also we can attend Zoom office meeting, even though we don't have to go to the office anymore. So that's the really positive impact of globalization, is the development of technology. Next slide. So it's the international business climate has also changed way vastly because of globalization. The development of communication and information technologies have contributed to the process of globalization, but also provided instruments that facilitates the process of globalization. Newly emerging market also recognize the economic benefit, technological development, growth, and opportunities that globalization provides them. So it is also kind of related with the political change, and also uh, changes in doing business. So all the points that has been changed by globalization, for the impact of globalization, is kind of integrated to each other. Next slide. Development of markets. Uh, the information and communication technologies, the rapid development of international tourism, widespread cultural exchange, and improved living standards in many development countries have contributed to the emergence of a group of consumers in different countries and regions of the world with similar educational profile, lifestyle, purchasing power, and for good, good, good products, as well as aspiration for the high quality. Now we have, as we live in different parts of the world, we have a lot of limitation, such as uh, the difference comes in globally, and also different nations, the way they interact, the culturally, it's also different. But globalization and the internet has brought all us together in one frame, where it was easy to overcome the differences, but to work on commonality and find something new, selling and buying products. So this is the one other sector that was impacted positively and changed the whole world um, in it. So the competition. So there are good things and some are bad things if we see, but if we look deeper into it, there are good things into it also. One of the reasons that companies join global strategies in the need of maintaining, gaining competitive advantage in foreign markets and avoiding competition in domestic market. Competition in international markets is huge, with more multinational competitors who win markets worldwide. Basically, globalization has forced almost every company into a bigger competition. So because of the globalization, all the small company can compete with big companies. So even though if you don't want to um, spread your business outside the world, outside the national border, but if you want to sustain against the big companies, you have to strive to expand your business outside of your border, because you're in the competition. It's not like they're a big company and you're a small company, so they are not your potential competitor. If you want to survive, you have to go global, and if you want to sustain loyalty in the customer's mind, then of course you have to go global and get into competition with bigger companies. And this is also a kind of disadvantage for the big companies, because they have big budget in management and also marketing and the production cost. And but even though they have big, in a lot of cases they lose when it comes to the competition of with the uh, small companies. So it's good for small companies, of course, because they are being forced to go expand their business in order to sustain and survive. But it's kind of bad for big companies, because probably they will not get as much as growth as the small companies are getting. So we are almost at the end of this presentation, and I'll go with the findings. In the findings, I can say the global globalization in international era and the contrast between countries result in both opportunities and threat to international business. Therefore, all business and entities need to bear in mind and take notes on any changes in globalized business environment when executing any adjustment and resolution in administering current international operation. And also the globalization, as the globalization increases, the speed and prevalence, and for the companies where more opportunities um, are opening easily to perform international market, the manager develop and adopt strategies for internalization. So in the conclusion, I would say today the world international company is quite a common phenomenon, which refers actual business transaction and large expenses between a number of people from different culture with different approaches. With what unites them in the complex network of relationship is the need of development and rapid exchange of resources, tools, integrated cooperation, which should contribute to ensuring cooperation and ensure the transfer of capital in every sector, different sectors of people. And can be concluded that today's decision for crossing domestic border and internationalize the business is a prerequisite for serious growth and development of a business entity. So that's how I just I'm concluding my research presentation, and these are the references that I have used on this presentation. And yeah, thank you so much, Professor. It was so much fun to have this course with you. Hope to see you in different courses in future.